bathed for 30 years. Her body stinks. She is also ugly. Yet she has 4 beast husbands who never abandon her. The cunning-voiced spirit snake is the first husband. The second husband is the steady and virtuous North African lion, and the bloodthirsty, vicious third husband, the hunter. Then the silly and clingy little husband, the Labrador. But the woman is not only smelly and lazy, she also plays around a bit. Every day, she either sends her 4 husbands out to earn money and provide for the family, or she whips them with a barbed lash. But Yi Shan, who just time-traveled here and is socially anxious, didn't know any of this. Yi Shan slowly looked down at herself. Her somewhat dark feet were stepping on a man's Adam's apple. Due to the violent trampling, the man's Adam's apple already had blood seeping on his cold, pale skin. But he didn't dare to resist. He could only clench his fists in humiliation, waiting for his wife to finish venting her anger. Yi Shan didn't think about whose foot it was. The moment she saw people, her heart panicked. Before her brain could react, she had already jumped to a corner 2 meters away and curled up. Yi Shan hugged her knees, trembling as she looked at the man on the ground. The man's neck was congested, his disheveled hair soaked with sweat, his clothes torn in many places, looking somewhat like whiplashes. He lay prostrate on the ground in a wretched state, the narrow corners of his eyes, bloodshot, staring fiercely at Yi Shan. Although Yi Shan is involved in terrorism, she still has a bit of humanitarianism. Seeing the other person in such a miserable state, she mustered up the courage to ask, "You, have you been bullied?" Guo Jin raised his head and stared fixedly at Yi Shan, his voice fierce and dangerous. "What do you think? You just beat him so brutally. And now, you're pretending not to remember?" Yi Shan was frightened by his attitude, and tried even harder to squeeze herself into the corner. How would she know who bullied him? Why is this man looking at her like that? Even though he's good looking, he shouldn't be so fierce, right? Making it seem like she was the one who bullied him. Whenever she's unhappy, Yi Shan tends to dig her nails into her palm. This time, she noticed something unusual. Why? Is there something in her hand? She picked it up to take a look. It was a whip with barbs. Frightened, Yi Shan shuddered, and immediately threw the whip away. The flung whip happened to land beside Bo Jing. Yi Shan looked at the whip, then at the man covered in blood, and a thought crossed her mind. How did she end up with a whip in her hand? Could it really be her who bullied this person? Yi Shan pressed her temples as a sudden headache struck. Countless memories that didn't belong to her flooded her mind. It turned out she had entered a novel called Interstellar Beast World. This is a planet called the God Star, and the beings on this planet can no longer be called human, but are beastmen with 2 forms. Male beastmen possess various types of supernatural abilities, while females all have psychic and spatial abilities. Due to the scarcity of females on the planet, and the powerful utility of psychic and spatial abilities, coupled with the life-risking task of bearing offspring, females hold a very prestigious status here. After a female reaches adulthood, the main God Star system immediately matches her with suitable males, based on her psychic energy. Yi Shan also received a blessing through the matching system. She even obtained 4 at once: the golden-scaled snake, Yi Ling; the North African lion, Jiang Si; the falcon, BJN; and the Labrador, YYN. They are all highly renowned single males on the main God Star, with strong abilities and good looks, who had already accumulated some savings before even reaching adulthood. They were the dream partners for countless females. They should have had bright futures ahead. But unfortunately, they married Yi Shan. The body she transmigrated into was a complete and utter pervert. Finding beast husbands wasn't for building a life together, but purely to vent her inner wicked desires. She would either beat or scold these for beast husbands, and even deliberately squandered the money they had painstakingly saved. Watching these brilliant, outstanding males fall into the mud, unable to recover, gave her a sense of pleasure. Males should naturally be trampled under the feet of females. That is their only rightful place. Yet, the males can't really do anything to the females. Once a male on the Master God planet is marked by a female, it's equivalent to marriage. Their mental energy becomes bound to the female. With just a single thought from the female, she can determine their life or death. This is the terrifying aspect of psychic-type females. If the female dies, the male will die even more miserably. Mental collapse, utter annihilation, leaving not even a trace behind. And now, this one lying half dead on the ground is one of her husbands, Bo Jing, a second-level wind ability user, a speed-type beastman. Yi Shan simply couldn't believe the memories in her mind. She suddenly had husbands, 4 of them. The overwhelmingly absurd reality left her mind blank. Unconsciously, she repeated the word husband again. Don't call me that. Bo Jing shuddered with disgust at Yi Shan's form of address. He never wanted to marry in the first place. It was all because Yi Shan forcibly marked him. After marking him, she didn't even take on the responsibilities of a head spouse. Females and males on the Master God planet are supported by the planet until they reach adulthood. Housing and food are provided according to uniform standards. Once they come of age, the Master God planet withdraws the provision of food and housing. To obtain housing and food, females need to bring their beast husbands to the mission hall on the Master God planet to purchase tasks, acquire resources from other planets, and exchange them with the Master God system for contribution points. Contribution points can be used to buy food and housing, as well as other supplies. Not only that, with missions, they can also continuously evolve and enhance their supernatural abilities during these missions. But ever since he married Yi Shan never goes to accept missions. This leads to them not only being unable to upgrade their supernatural abilities, but also having to pay out of their own pockets to rent a house. Their savings were already meager, yet Yi Shan insisted on living in a 3-story mansion and eating giant lobsters. In less than a month, the savings of the 4 of them were spent. They could only move into the free slums to live. Food still required several of them to take turns doing hard labor. This week, it was his turn to stay home and protect Yi Shan, while the other 3 went out to work. Even that would be tolerable, as they, being males, could endure any hardship. If Yi Shan could just live steadily with them, a little hardship would be bearable. But Yi Shan just had to be a vicious and filthy woman, not allowing them to eat at the table, not allowing them to sleep in the bed, and whenever unhappy, stepping on their necks and whipping them, not brushing teeth nor bathing. She even threw her feces at them. Thinking of this, Bo Jing wanted to kill that damned Yi Shan. Yi Shan, why are you treating us like this? It's already so hard for us just to survive. Why do you still? Bo Jing looked up at his so-called wife. He noticed Yi Shan was spacing out, not paying the slightest bit of attention to him. He gave a self-mocking smile. Forget it, he didn't want to voice the rest of his complaints. It's not like Yi Shan would show them any consideration anyway. The air suddenly fell silent. Neither of them spoke another word. Bo Jing lay on the ground waiting for his wounds to heal, while Yi Shan was sorting through her own memories. After a long while, Yi Shan suddenly asked a question. So you're actually not human? You're the one who's not human. Beast folk are people too. Hearing Yi Shan's doubt, Bo Jing angrily shouted at her. Hearing Bo Jing's reply, Yi Shan actually felt relieved. It's good that he's not a pure human. Pure humans are just too terrifying. Thinking of it this way, this world isn't so bad after all. At the very least, it's better than Blue Star. Yi Shan was now curled up in the corner. She leaned forward and knelt on the ground, carefully moved closer to Bo Jing's side, propped her head up with her hand, widened her round cat-like eyes to scrutinize him. She was extremely curious about this beastly man. Every one of his facial features was perfectly proportioned. He had the handsome, scholarly look that Yi Shan liked. Bo Jing was already trembling all over from the pain. Seeing Yi Shan crouch in front of him staring at him, he trembled even more. What does this damned female want to do now? She's already been beating him for an hour. Isn't she tired yet? His tone was both angry and anxious. Why are you looking at me with that kind of expression? If you want to fight, then fight. Stop dawdling. After Yi Shan vents his anger, he still needs to mend his clothes. But to his surprise, Yi Shan bent his knees and crouched beside Bo Jing, lowering his head. His eyes were full of apology. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was the one who hit you. How about I carry you to the bed? He's so badly injured, lying on the ground the whole time. He'll probably catch a cold. Yi Shan's unusual behavior shocked Bo Jing, making his whole body stiffen. Why go to the bed? Unless... He suddenly lifted his head, hurriedly grabbing his shirt and clutching it together haphazardly. His eyes looked at Yi Shan in disbelief. Seeing that the entire face before him was so dirty the features were almost invisible, along with the faint sour stench in the air. He would rather die than be defiled by such a filthy female. He struggled to get away from Yi Shan. Even if his wounds tore open again, it couldn't stop his movements, crawling and cursing, calling him a beast. Don't even think about it. Stay away from me. What's wrong with you? Are you okay? Yi Shan was very worried about Bo Jing. Seeing him like this, his spirit must have been damaged by the original owner's abuse. But he can't afford to have anything happen right now. If such a handsome husband were on Blue Star, she could search her whole life and never find someone this handsome. Don't be afraid, I'll carry you back to bed. Watching as Bo Jing crawled further and further away, Yi Shan, in a panic, reached out and grabbed Bo Jing's ankle. The touch was slick and cool. She couldn't help but rub it a couple of times. She swore she really couldn't help it. It wasn't on purpose. How could a girl as shy as her do something like that? But it was this slight movement that made Bo Jing feel as if he had fallen into an icy abyss. She was dead set on devouring him today. Yi Shan, if you dare touch me today, I will definitely kill you. Yi Shan was completely unfazed by Bo Jing's threat. The only thing in this world that could make her afraid was humans. Yi Shan held Bo Jing's ankle with one hand, while her other hand touched her own burning cheek, trying to cool it down. I'll be gentle. Stop struggling. Watching the female's actions grow increasingly unrestrained, Bo Jing's face instantly darkened. Rather than be humiliated by such a female, it would be better for everyone to die together. Sorry about this. Ji Zhangxi. As for Yi Ling, he would only thank him for finally killing Yi Shan, that scourge. Bo Jing hesitated no longer. He raised his hand, forming a claw. 5 sharp claws emerged from his snow-white fingertips, and he swiped towards Yi Shan's head. Yi Shan, with her head lowered, suddenly heard the sound of something cutting through the air. Instinctively, she raised her hand and grabbed, and her hand ended up intertwined with Bo Jing's. Your nails are so long. Let go of me, Bo Jing. I can't believe what I'm seeing, Yi Shan. She actually caught his attack barehanded. Wasn't it said that females have strength as small as an ant's? Could it be that he's injured? That his weakness is causing this? Yi Shan gripped Bo Jing's hand. The male's warmth transmitted through the skin to Yi Shan's palm. I can let you go, but you need to behave and get into bed. Bo Jing naturally refused. He tried to pull his hand back, but found he couldn't retrieve it. He was so angry, he gritted his teeth audibly. I won't mate with you. What nonsense is this about mating? Yi Shan was stunned. Now, she finally understood why Bo Jing was reacting this way. So he thought she wanted to mate with him. A blush became visibly apparent, spreading from where they touched up to her face. Yi Shan turned as red as a boiled shrimp all over. Who wants to mate with you? Yi Shan stood up angrily, not wanting to care about the male on the ground anymore. She sat on the bed herself, giving Bo Jing a resentful look. She originally didn't want to pay him any more attention, but seeing Bo Jing lying weakly on the ground, she worried in her heart that he might actually die. Yi Shan reluctantly walked forward. Ignoring Bo Jing's reaction, she directly picked him up and placed him on the bed. Bo Jing immediately struggled to get up, but the wound on his abdomen made him somewhat weak. He fell back down in a disheveled state. He pretended to be fierce and threatened Yi Shan, but his hands were already trembling with fear. He was afraid that Yi Shan would really take advantage of his weakness to kill him. "What are you trying to do?" Yi Shan didn't dare to look at Bo Jing. Although beastmen aren't human, they look too much like humans. This made her, someone with social anxiety, still feel a bit triggered. "Anyway, if I don't do something, you're done for." She was afraid he would misunderstand and think she wanted to mate. Yi Shan immediately walked into the room. She sat down in the corner farthest from the bed. "I just want you to focus on recovering from your injuries." Bo Jing didn't believe Yi Shan at all. He gripped the blanket tightly. His eyes stared blankly at Yi Shan. He was afraid this female might pounce on him if he let his guard down. At that moment, someone's stomach growled. Bo Jing immediately covered his own stomach. His stomach was constantly protesting. He hadn't eaten for 2 days. Males naturally have high energy demands. And today, he had been beaten by Yi Shan. He really couldn't take it anymore. "You're hungry? Where is the food? I'll get it for you to eat." Yi Shan scanned the room. In the less than 20 square meter room, aside from a simple bed, there were only holes all over the walls. She couldn't see anywhere that could hide food. Bo Jing twitched the corner of his mouth. "There's no food left. Didn't you ruin it all in one go?" The 4 of them would leave one person behind each week to protect Yi Shan, take care of her daily needs for food and living. The other 3 went out to earn money. Every time before going out to work, they would gather all their money together, then buy food and place it in Yi Shan's space. But at most, it was enough for 2 people to eat 3 full meals. To ensure Yi Shan had food for the entire week, he only ate enough to be 1/10 full each meal. You could say it was just enough to keep him alive. Yet, Yi Shan completely disregarded the hardships of life. The day before yesterday, she ate all the food at once. Only when she got hungry did she realize there was no food left to eat. She threw a fit, demanding he go buy bread. Where would he have any money? Yi Shan didn't care about any of that. She just believed he wasn't buying it for her. She picked up a whip and started lashing him. Now, she's asking him again where to find food. He also wanted to know where to find food. Yi Shan pointed at her own face. "Me?" She thought about it carefully. It seemed there really was such a matter. The original host's memories were too chaotic. Without thinking carefully, she wouldn't have known. "Fine, since it's my fault, then I'll go out to find food." Yi Shan was a bit speechless. She hadn't been here long, and already had so many blames to bear. Just at that moment, the tattered cloth serving as a door curtain was pushed aside. A man of robust build walked in. Behind him followed 4 slightly weaker-looking lackeys. He looked sideways at Bo Jing, his face fierce and menacing. "Want to find food? Then you'll have to pay the protection fee first." Then he shifted the subject and looked at Yi Shan with a lecherous gaze. His tone was very flirtatious. Of course. If the little female could spend a night with me, then consider the protection fee paid." Although Yi Shan's appearance was a bit rough, for low-ability males like them, she was still out of their league. After all, the female-to-male ratio on the main god star was close to 20-1. Even if one female had 10 males, there would still be a large number of single males left. Not to mention males like them living in the slums, who couldn't even catch a glimpse of a female. Their only chance to see a female in their lifetime was on billboards. No one knew why Yi Shan's family had fallen to such a state. But for them, this was a good thing. Bo Jing could tell from the male's expression what he was thinking. He couldn't help but spit in disgust. Although he didn't like Yi Shan, his female wasn't someone just anyone could covet, especially since the males here were too despicable. Whenever a female's poster appeared on the streets, it would disappear within a minute. It was all because of these guys, who tore them off to take home and do shady things. Bo Jing concealed the vulnerability on his face. He naturally placed his hand on the bed, pretending he wasn't injured. Zhang Da, what are you here for again? Didn't you learn your lesson last time? Zhang Da withdrew his greedy gaze from the female. With a gloomy expression, he scanned the bed where Bo Jing lay motionless. He still thinks he's that high-quality male from back in the day. Didn't he end up in the slums just like him? You dare bring up last time? If it weren't for the four of you teaming up against me, would I have lost? He smugly crossed his arms. This time, he deliberately came when the other three males weren't around. Bo Jing even got beaten up by the little female. Who could stop him now? Get up, let's fight again. If I lose, I'll get lost. But if you lose, the little female will be mine tonight. Yi Shan, standing to the side, finally figured out what was going on. This Zhang Da, a man acting all cocky, was trying to take advantage of the situation. That Yi Shan spoke up, his voice still soft and gentle. It made Zhang Da's heart melt. Although the little female isn't much to look at, but her voice is truly pleasant. It got him so hard. He grinned with a lewd expression, rubbing his hands together towards Yi Shan. What do you want to say, little female? Yi Shan pursed her lips, feeling somewhat nervous. She really hadn't communicated with anyone for a long time. Speaking softly and gently. That, you. Are you always this shameless? Do your parents know? What? Zhang Da dug at his own ear, thinking he must have misheard. After all, the little female looked soft and delicate. The contrast with what he heard was too great. Zhang Da nudged the lackey behind him. What did the little female say? The lackey hemmed and hawed, not daring to say. It was Bo Jing who repeated it. She said you're shameless. Idiot. He even showed a mocking smile after saying it. He hadn't expected Yi Shan to dare say such a thing either. Normally, she only acts tough behind closed doors. When facing other males, she doesn't dare utter a peep. Yi Shan put her index fingers together, fidgeting with them, not daring to look up at anyone. She had the kind of demeanor that made people want to protect her at first sight. But that image shattered the moment she opened her mouth. Bo Jing is right. It seems you're not only shameless, but also hard of hearing. Yi Shan's words were unpleasant to begin with, added to how the two of them were echoing each other. This made Zhang Da furious. You. Zhang Da gritted his teeth. He stormed aggressively toward Bo Jing on the bed. All right. So the two of you are teaming up against me. Today, you must fight me. Bo Jing's face showed no emotion. But in reality, his hands at his sides were already clenched into fists. Given his current physical condition, he wasn't even sure if he could win. In the tense atmosphere, Yi Shan spoke up again. Let him go. As a female, I order you to release my male. Otherwise, I will report to the main god system and strip you of your lifetime contribution points earning rights. After a female reaches adulthood, she awakens her psychic abilities and connects with the main god system. Whenever a female wishes, she can instantly send her message to the main god system, which is monitored by the upper echelons of the main god star. If Yi Shan really reports this to the higher-ups, it would mean that Zhang Da won't be able to accept tasks from the main god system, or even earn contribution points by working for others. That would be no different from killing him. Zhang Da's eyes began to shift uneasily. Wasn't their relationship supposed to be strained? Before, when he often came to cause trouble, the little female never said anything. In fact, when he bullied the others, she even seemed to enjoy the show. Why is she acting like this now? Could it be that Yi Shan was just playing some kind of game with Bo Jing before? A poverty roleplay? And was he just a part of their roleplay? Thinking about it that way, you're right. How could any female stoop to such a level? He gave an awkward smile, pretending as if nothing had happened. Hey, I was just joking with you all. If there's nothing else. Suddenly, Bo Jing took advantage of Bear Big's inattention, rose up from the side, and punched Bear Big, sending him flying directly. He was filled with pent-up anger and had been looking for outlet. Since Yi Shan had brought up female rights today, he was going to make good use of those rights and return all the humiliation Bear Big had once inflicted on him. But after throwing that punch, he truly had no strength left. Not only did his wounds start to reopen, but his head also felt dizzy, causing him to collapse off the bed. Be careful, Yi Shan was quick-eyed and swift-handed. She stepped forward and pulled Bo Jing's entire upper body into her embrace. The warmth of her body instantly muddled Bo Jing's consciousness. Was this still the same Yi Shan who only knew how to whip him? Could she have been possessed by a ghost? In the last second before he lost consciousness, he wished that Yi Shan would remain possessed by a ghost for the rest of her life. Hey, Bo Jing. Bo Jing's head drooped into the crook of Yi Shan's neck, like a well-behaved little kitten that had fallen asleep. But Yi Shan didn't feel like recording at all, because Bo Jing's mouth was pressed against her neck. The soft, moist sensation made her afraid to move. She stiffened her body and commanded Zhang Da, who was groaning in pain on the ground. You, come here. Zhang Da didn't dare to delay. He quickly got up and bowed obsequiously to Yi Shan. Madam, what are your orders? After a while, Bo Jing finally moved away from her. Only then did Yi Shan let out a sigh of relief. She touched her neck, feeling somewhat embarrassed and annoyed. This Bo Jing, she had helped him, yet he still took advantage of her. At that moment, Zhang Da grinned, with no trace of his earlier arrogance to be seen. Madam, what other orders do you have? Yi Shan glanced at the unconscious Bo Jing, brushed the hair away from his face, and then said softly, do you have any food with you? If you don't, I have some, Zhang Da said quickly. Quick. Yi Shan didn't even have time to say 3 words before being interrupted by Zhang Da. Zhang Da took out the steamed bun he was protecting over his heart and very reluctantly placed it by the bedside. So sad, he was almost in tears. Going hungry for one meal versus being hungry every meal. He still knew the difference. Little miss, it was my fault before. I offended you. All my food is here. A great person like you doesn't remember the faults of a small one. Please don't report me. Yi Shan looked at the steamed bun. She coughed lightly and waved her hand in the air. Well, I forgive you. You can leave now, and don't come back ever again. My apologies for the disturbance. Zhang Da immediately beamed with joy. He and his underlings scrambled away in a panic. After they left, only the unconscious Bo Jing and Yi Shan remained in the room. Yi Shan knelt on the floor, leaning against the bed, her hand propping up her left cheek. Bo Jing's eyes were tightly shut, due to blood loss. His lips were extremely pale. The wounds on his body were still bleeding. It didn't take a genius to guess there were other wounds beneath his clothes. Should she help Bo Jing treat his injuries? Although her own wounds used to heal without treatment, Bo Jing was not the same species as her. He would probably die without treatment. Thinking this, Yi Shan got up from the floor and reached out to unbutton Bo Jing's shirt. As he unbuttoned it, he muttered, I'm not trying to take advantage of you. I'm doing this to treat your wounds. As the buttons came undone, the large and small wounds on Bo Jing's body were revealed. Yi Shan couldn't help but sigh. The original Yi Shan was truly ruthless. How could she bring herself to harm such a handsome husband? Looking at Bo Jing, who was as battered as a withered flower, Yi Shan suddenly couldn't help but swallow hard. Even though she was doing a good deed, she felt inexplicably guilty. Why should I feel guilty? I still need to treat his wounds. Treating the wounds is what matters most. Whatever other thoughts I have can wait for later. Yi Shan stood up and searched around the room, but couldn't find a single tool to treat the wounds. There wasn't even a piece of cloth. Wait, I think I'm a spatial ability user. Maybe everything is stored in there. Yi Shan closed her eyes and carefully focused on her body, easily discovering the spatial storage. However, the space was very small, and there was nothing inside. It was practically useless. Yi Shan's lips twitched. The spatial storage was hopeless. She could only turn her attention to Bo Jing's shirt. The shirt was full of holes and stained with blood. It was definitely unwearable. Now, Yi Shan tore Bo Jing's shirt into strips and soaked them in the water jar by the door. Then, she wiped the bloodstains off Bo Jing's body bit by bit. After everything was done, Yi Shan's eyes were so sleepy she couldn't keep them open. She struggled to get up, wanting to use the last bit of her consciousness to avoid collapsing on top of Bo Jing. Early the next morning, Yi Shan was still in the same position she had fallen in last night, half lying on Bo Jing's side. Because the small, broken house was very cold at night, Bo Jing instinctively sought a source of warmth. So he naturally ended up holding the soft Yi Shan in his arms. His large hand even unconsciously squeezed Yi Shan's waist. But when his consciousness returned, he suddenly realized who was in his arms. Besides that vicious female, Yi Shan, he couldn't think of any other possibility. Instantly, a wave of nausea washed over him. He immediately pulled back his hand and pushed the person in his arms away, then leaned over the side of the bed and vomited. In the middle of vomiting, he realized his shirt was gone. He panicked at the thought. Could it be that last night, Yi Shan had? At this possibility, Bo Jing's eyes turned crimson. He grabbed the still sleeping Yi Shan. Now, he didn't even need to use much force to kill this female. In her sleep, Yi Shan frowned uncomfortably, but still couldn't wake up. Just as Bo Jing was about to exert force, he glanced out of the corner of his eye and saw the steamed buns on the bedside, already cold. His pupils abruptly constricted, thinking that this bun might have been left for him by Yi Shan. Otherwise, the selfish female would have already eaten the bun long ago. Bo Jing hesitated for a moment. Yi Shan finally woke up. She groggily rubbed her slightly sore eyes. Her voice was as cute and milky as a little kitten's. You're awake. Why did you pick me up? Bo Jing was a bit speechless. Is this what you call picking up? He was clearly gripping her neck, trying to kill her. Bo Jing pushed Yi Shan away, temporarily giving up the thought of killing. What did you do to me last night? If she dares to say they mated, he will definitely kill her. Yi Shan rubbed her neck. Looking at Bo Jing, who seemed inexplicably angry, she sighed and said, "Don't tell me you thought we mated last night? Can you still get hard when you're asleep? You, Bo Jing, you've been ing for ages," but still couldn't get the second half of the sentence out, made to blush by Yi Shan's blunt words. Although he's been married for 2 months already, he's only just an adult and has no experience with intimate matters. How would he know if he can still get hard when asleep? Yi Shan seemed to notice Bo Jing's embarrassment, looking very apologetic. Sorry about that. So you didn't know that when you're asleep, you can't get hard? Who says I don't know? Although Yi Shan's apology seemed sincere, Bo Jing inexplicably felt she was mocking him. After all, what a male is most sensitive about is his virility. Yi Shan shrank her neck and admitted fault immediately. Okay, you wouldn't. Not getting hard was just me talking nonsense. Then Yi Shan placed the bun from the bedside into Bo Jing's hand and immediately stepped back 2 steps. Aren't you hungry? Hurry up and eat. Bo Jing quietly watched Yi Shan. His pale red lips slightly parted. Why didn't you eat the bun yourself and saved it for me to eat? Yi Shan pressed her lips together. Aren't you my husband? Isn't it normal to save it for you? Actually, Yi Shan was thinking, hurry up and eat. After eating, quickly tell her what's really going on with this world. She doesn't want to keep living in this shabby place. The first step to overcoming social anxiety. It's about having a cozy and safe little nest. But it's clearly very dangerous here. Some strange people can just come in as they please. There are drafts everywhere. The blankets are damp too. Bo Jing snorted coldly. Now you remember I'm your husband. He didn't want to know what crazy idea Yishan had gotten into her head today. But there's no reason to refuse free food. I'd rather die than be a starving ghost. After eating the buns, the atmosphere between the two eased up a lot. Bo Jing's voice was calm. Where's my shirt? I saw it was ruined, so I tore it up. I used it to bandage your wounds. Bo Jing widened his eyes and looked at the white strips on his body. He suddenly punched the ground hard. That was my last piece of clothing. What am I supposed to wear when I go out to work? Yi Shan was startled by Bo Jing. She felt a bit wrong. Hadn't she torn the shirt to bandage his wounds? Don't be angry. When I have money, I'll buy you one, okay? Bye. Bo Jing was so angry he laughed. Being able to sell it would already be quite an achievement. After their savings ran out, Yi Shan still refused to move to the slums. She forced them to sell their clothes. Those clothes might not have been worth a fortune, but they definitely weren't cheap either. After selling the clothes, they sold the shoes. After selling the shoes, they sold the jewelry. Finally, there was really nothing left to sell. She even thought about selling them for contribution points. If they hadn't stood their ground firmly, they would have long been sold by that vicious female, Yi Shan, to some remote corner, as free labor. Bo Jing hugged his bare upper body and asked sarcastically, "Then may I ask, where did you get the contribution points to buy me clothes? I can earn them." She used to support herself for a lifetime by writing code. She can do the same now. Hearing Yi Shan's words, Bo Jing laughed disdainfully. Then do you know how to earn contribution points? Yi Shan quickly searched her mind, but found no way to earn contribution points. Not the original owner. What's going on? She doesn't even know how to make money on her own planet. Seeing Yi Shan's reaction, Bo Jing knew she had no idea how contribution points are earned on the God Star. He couldn't hold back a cold snort from his throat. Yi Shan knew she was embarrassing herself at this moment. She awkwardly rubbed her small nose. Then how do you earn money? Bo Jing didn't want to speak, feeling it would be a waste of breath to tell her. Might as well go out and boil some water to drink. But when he saw the empty water tank, he was stunned. Where was the tank of clean water he earned by moving furniture for others? Bo Jing incredulously reached into the bottom of the tank, only feeling the still damp ceramic surface. Yi Shan. Bo Jing roared furiously at the sky. His long, straight legs strode with widened steps as he charged into the room. He grabbed Yi Shan by the collar and demanded, "Where's my water?" His hot, masculine breath sprayed onto Yi Shan's face. It was so hot she could barely keep her eyes open. "Can you move away from me?" "No." As he spoke, Bo Jing pulled Yi Shan even closer to himself, so close that he could smell the sour odor of a female who hadn't bathed in a long time. But within it, there was a faint, almost imperceptible hint of sweetness. Yi Shan's attempts to stop him were futile. She could only turn her head to observe the situation outside the door. Suddenly, she thought of something. She timidly pointed at the water vat lying on the ground. "You mean the water in that vat? I used it to clean your body. You were covered in blood. Without water, it was impossible to wipe it all off." Bo Jing was stunned. He hadn't expected Yi Shan to have used the water on him. This caused his anger to dissipate slightly. But he was still furious. "You cleaned the blood off me? Did you really need to use such a huge vat of water? Do you even know that this vat of water is supposed to last us a month? Great. You've ruined it all." What? She didn't know. That little bit of water by the door wasn't even enough for her to wash her hair once. And that was supposed to be their water supply for a whole month. Oh no, they're really so poor. She doesn't want to live a life of poverty. Wait. Yi Shan thought of a very serious problem. If such a small amount of water has to last a month, so they usually don't bathe or wash their hair? Yi Shan quickly pulled her clothes over and sniffed them. Oh, sour and stinky. Then she touched her own hair. It was a tangled mess. Bo Jing, do you have a mirror? I want to see what I look like right now. Bo Jing let go with disgust. A look of contempt curled on Yi Shan's pretty lips, not even bothering to hide it. If you want to know what you look like, just take a piss and look at your reflection. Yi Shan suddenly understood why the original owner liked to beat these beastmen. Part of the reason was definitely Bo Jing's annoying tone. Hey Emph, if she wanted to see her appearance, she didn't necessarily need a mirror. She remembered there was a sewage ditch near the slums. Watching Yi Shan storm out angrily, Bo Jing felt a little uneasy. This Yi Shan usually never set foot outside. Where could she be going? He didn't want to die as much anymore. To prevent Yi Shan from dragging him down with her, he silently followed her. I followed Yi Shan to the sewage ditch. I saw her carefully stepping on the mud by the ditch, stretching her head to look inside. Then she let out a sharp cry. How did I turn into this ghostly appearance? Yi Shan by the ditch was almost in tears. She's socially anxious, not an animal. Why did she have to become like this? Yi Shan really couldn't bear to look anymore. She felt like she was going to throw up. No, she needs to brush her teeth. She needs to wash her hair and take a shower. She frantically turned her head and saw Bo Jing. Then she hugged him. She wriggled and acted coquettishly. Please tell me how to earn contribution points. Bo Jing was momentarily at a loss. Stop moving around. Let go of me. Let go. No. If you don't tell me, I won't let go. Yi Shan's attitude was very firm. Rather than living such a hard life, I'd rather die. Alright, I give up. You let go of me. I'll tell you. Only then did Yi Shan let go as she wished. But thinking about her behavior just now, she suddenly felt a bit embarrassed. She actually took the initiative to hug a stranger. Although not human, it was still a big improvement for her. Listen carefully. There are only two ways for us to earn experience. One is like the four of us. Go out and help others with odd jobs, like moving furniture, building houses, delivering packages, etc. But because there's no danger involved, even if you work hard all day, the contribution points you can get are only about 5. Yi Shan listened attentively, then she voiced her confusion. How much water can contribution points buy? About a spoonful. That tub of water you wasted costs 50. Contribution points are really a ripoff. Working hard for 10 days. And it only gets you 1 tub of water. Yi Shan complained, waiting quietly for Bo Jing to mention another method. But he suddenly stopped talking. What's the other way then? Bo Jing sneered. What do you think? Of course, it's accepting missions at the task hall. Each mission pays at least several hundred. Yi Shan looked up at the sky, speechless. It was the original host who didn't know. But she was the one getting yelled at. Then why didn't you go accept missions? Instead, you did manual labor. Bo Jing sighed helplessly, rubbing his forehead. Yi Shan really knows nothing about practical life. He continued to explain. After marriage, males can't accept missions on their own. Only the wife can. But Bo Jing hesitated mid-sentence. He didn't directly say that Yi Shan wanted to make things difficult for them. That's why she deliberately didn't take them to accept missions. Otherwise, this vicious female would surely hit him again. Although he values his dignity, avoiding beatings whenever possible is still good. You don't seem interested in earning contribution points, so you never take us to do missions. That's why we're getting poorer. Yi Shan understood. So their current poverty was all because of the original host. Then tomorrow I'll accept a mission. Bo Jing was stunned for a second, then returned to normal. He didn't believe Yi Shan would actually go accept a mission. A vicious and cowardly female like her must be lying. It's happened before. Back when the money had just run out. Yi Shan always said he was going to accept missions. But once at the mission hall, he'd mock them viciously. He'd say they were so stupid, fooled so many times, and still falling for it. Later, when Yi Shan said he was going to accept missions, they no longer believed him. Except for that Yi Yang, the idiot who trusted Yi Shan every single time. But tricking a dumb dog was no fun for Yi Shan. Gradually, he stopped making such jokes. Who would have thought he'd start again now? Hey Emph, still trying to fool me? Lure me to the mission hall. And then tell all the females just how stupid and useless I am. I won't fall for your tricks this time. After Bojing finished speaking, he removed all the bandages from his body. Males have strong healing abilities. In just one night, he was pretty much fully recovered. He bent down, knelt on the ground, and pulled out a box of needles and thread from under the bed. He tried his best to mend this last remaining piece of clothing. Next week, when Ji Zhangxi and the others returned, he would have to go to work. He couldn't be without clothes to wear. I'm not lying to you. I really want to go do a mission. I swear, if I'm lying to you, may I be struck by lightning. I don't believe you. Unless you swear by your female rights. Female rights. The privileged females hold in high status on this planet. If a female loses this right, they will end up worse off than the males, even though such an oath is useless. But females would avoid swearing by their female rights, but Bo Jing didn't expect. Yi Shan would say it so easily. I swear. If I lie to you, I will lose all my female rights. Seeing how serious Yi Shan looked, Bo Jing felt a bit uncertain. Could it be that Yi Shan was really possessed by a ghost today? Forget it, I'll trust her one more time. Bo Jing applied a little more force with his hand. The sharp needle tip pierced into the flesh. Half of his face was buried in the shadow of his hair. He secretly swore, if Yi Shan lied to him again this time, then he would kill her. He quickly sewed the few pieces of rags in his hand into the shape of a vest, put it over his head, then pulled Yi Shan and headed out towards the mission center. The mission center was a building as tall as 20 stories. The first floor was the mission hall. Beastkins could, in the mission hall, check their remaining contribution points and the daily high reward missions, as well as the difficulty star rating for each mission's contribution points, and the planetary environment. Looking at the high-tech mission hall, Yi Shan couldn't help but let out a sigh of admiration. This is so cool. It's like a futuristic world. Bo Jing wasn't in the mood to appreciate it right now. He just wanted to quickly pick up a mission. After all, Yi Shan isn't possessed by a ghost every day. What if that dim ghost leaves in a little while? Yi Shan refuses to do the mission anyway. Where is he supposed to go to cry about it? He grabbed Yi Shan's hand. Her hand was unexpectedly soft to the touch. Let's go over there to pick a mission. When she saw the contribution points on the mission board, Yi Shan was practically drooling. Some missions give 500 contribution points, some give 10,000. There are even some worth hundreds of thousands or millions. Yi Shan's eyes were sparkling like stars. She asked Bo Jing naively, is this 74 million point mission difficult? Bo Jing looked at Yi Shan as if she were an idiot. It's only difficult enough to get you killed. Feeling mocked, Yi Shan quieted down. She pouted, unhappy, and muttered, why the insult? So rude. Once she figures out this world's rules of survival, she'll kick this man to the curb. Finally, the two of them chose the closest one. The only 1-star difficulty mission. The mission difficulty ranges from 1 star to 5 stars, increasing in challenge. A 1-star mission. Basically, if you're just a little careful, there's pretty much no danger, but the contribution points correspond directly to the difficulty. Looking at the pitiful 500 contribution points for this mission, Yi Shan complained a bit. It's so little, Why did you pick this one? Bo Jing shot Yishan a glance. Seeing that she actually accepted a mission today, he decided to explain, albeit reluctantly. Actually, the 5 of us were supposed to go together. Only then can I protect you properly. Right now, I'm the only one. If we go to a more difficult world, I can't guarantee you'll survive. Besides, only the ancient beast world is available. This world doesn't require a space fee. What is a space fee? Yi Shan asked while obediently accepting the ancient beast world mission. Ancient beast world mission details. Collect 10 jackfruits. Difficulty level, 1 star. Distance, light years. Contribution points, 500. Space fee, 0. Yi Shan clicked confirm, and a number tag was dispensed from the bottom of the machine. It had the number 204 on it. Bo Jing immediately picked it up, eager to go up to the 2nd floor. After so long, he could finally live a good life again. The two went up to the 2nd floor, found room 204, and swiped the number tag to open it. What met their eyes wasn't a room, but a dark, swirling vortex. Then, Bo Jing began to explain to Yi Shan. This is a spatial portal. The main deity star uses space ore to establish spatial portals between the main deity star and various star systems. But passage requires continuous consumption of space ore. So you need to pay a space fee when accepting a mission to get a number tag made from space ore to reach the mission location. But remember, keep the number tag safe. Otherwise, we won't be able to come back. But then again, if every portal required a fee, then first-time task takers with no experience points, how would they accept tasks? So, the ancient beast world is essentially like a startup fund. Anyone can come and give it a try. Yi Shan suddenly understood. She roughly grasped this world's basic survival mechanics. How thoughtfully designed. Bo Jing chuckled lightly. He never thought Yi Shan could be quite cute when acting clueless. Let's go. The two of them stepped into the portal, one after the other. The next second, the door closed again. On the other side of the portal was a frigid ice field. Looking out, there was only an endless expanse of crimson. Yi Shan hugged her arms. She was unbearably cold. But looking at Bo Jing, even though he only wore a vest, his body was radiating warmth. This is the physique of a male. It's truly enviable. Her teeth chattering, she kept trying to burrow into Bo Jing's embrace. Every time she got close, Bo Jing would push her away with disgust. But at least, he didn't feel nauseous like before. Weren't we supposed to find jackfruit? In the dead of winter like this, where would any jackfruit be? This isn't actually winter. It's just that due to the high altitude, the temperature is low, Bo Jing said, while taking off his only worn-out vest, startling Yi Shan, who quickly covered her eyes. What are you doing? Hearing Yi Shan ask this, he flashed a wicked grin. He began to imitate Yi Shan's way of speaking. Anyway, it's none of your business. As soon as the words fell, a pair of large brown wings spread out from behind Bo Jing. The tremendous wind force made it impossible for Yi Shan to keep his eyes open. When he saw Bo Jing's current appearance clearly, Yi Shan curiously reached out to touch them. Smooth feathers overlapped one another, completely enveloping the flesh and blood within. Yi Shan couldn't help but think, if these wings were white, they would surely look just like an angel's. What are you groping around for? Bo Jing shook his wings. The long-lost feeling made him extremely comfortable. You'd better hold on tight. In a moment, before Yi Shan could even react, he was grabbed by the neck and took off into the air, looking at the ground growing farther and farther away. Yi Shan finally realized he was flying. As Bo Jing flew continuously northward, Yi Shan saw the edge of this icy plain. There was a cliff there. Bo Jing changed direction and dove down toward the cliff. The speed was even faster than a roller coaster. Gradually, the ice surface grew smaller, transforming instead into a towering waterfall. After flying for who knows how long, the two finally reached the ground, gazing at the towering green trees before him, and all sorts of exotic plants. Yi Shan was somewhat mesmerized. This place felt untouched by human pollution. No wonder it's called the ancient beast world. Sure enough, it's truly ancient. Yi Shan pointed at the waterfall nearby. Can this water be used for bathing? You want to bathe? Bo Jing wore an expression as if he'd encountered something bizarre. As if Yi Shan bathing was such a shocking event. Hey, what's with that look? Seeing Bo Jing's expression, Yi Shan said, somewhat displeased. Bo Jing retracted his wings and put his tank top back on. Didn't you say before you'd rather die than take a bath? Originally, he hadn't believed it. But Yi Shan's behavior of not bathing for a full 2 months convinced him completely. So there really are people who can go this long without bathing. Yi Shan knew it was the original owner's fault again. I've changed my mind. No way, you go over there. I'm going to take a bath. Don't look at me. Hey Emph, who would even want to look at you? Although Bo Jing rolled his eyes, he still did as Yi Shan said, and went to the other side. Once Bo Jing was out of sight, Yi Shan quickly jumped into the water. She washed away the mud on her body. The dirt on her skin came off easily, with a good scrub. But her hair was completely tangled, impossible to comb through. Just then, a hand suddenly appeared in front of Yi Shan's eyes, holding 2 soapberries. Thinking it was Bo Jing, Yi Shan reached for the soapberries. But as soon as the man spoke, Yi Shan realized something was wrong. You could try this. The man's voice was gentle and soft, warm, yet with a hint of wildness. It definitely couldn't be Bo Jing. Yi Shan let out a terrified scream. She frantically pushed her hair back, hugged her body, and tried to hide. Unexpectedly, the stones in the creek were covered in moss. In her panic, she slipped and fell straight into a stranger's embrace. Hearing Yi Shan scream, Bo Jing rushed over and saw this exact scene. A stunningly beautiful, snow-white female, held in the arms of a tall male. The two were gazing tenderly into each other's eyes. He had no idea that the snow-white female was Yi Shan, and he feared she was in danger. He couldn't care less about disturbing others' intimate moment. Bo Jing walked up with an impatient look. He patted the tall male's shoulder. Excuse me. Did you happen to see a dirty, ugly, and foul-smelling female bathing here earlier? Yi Shan, who was nestled in the male's arms, had a few question marks pop up in her head. A dirty, smelly, and foul-smelling female? Could he be talking about her? Yi Shan broke free from the male's embrace. She clutched Bo Jing's clothes and hid behind him. Husband, I'm scared. The person across seems to be human. She was genuinely frightened. That husband sounded soft and sweet, giving Bo Jing goosebumps all over. Who is this person? He grabbed the delicate female behind him, without a hint of tenderness. Who are you calling husband? Yi Shan blinked her innocent, cat-like eyes. I'm Yi Shan. If I don't call you husband, what should I call you? Hearing the female across claimed to be Yi Shan, Bo Jing's jaw nearly dropped to the ground. The female before him had wide, round eyes, her pupils revealing an otherworldly innocence. Her fair skin carried a faint rosy glow. Bo Jing quickly turned his head away, thinking to himself, this female has nothing in common with Yi Shan. You must be mistaken. I don't know you. Yi Shan finally realized that Bo Jing hadn't recognized her. Are you kidding me? Could you let go of my hand first? Yi Shan bit her cheek. It was so red it looked about to drip blood. I'm shy. Looking at the drenched, unfamiliar woman in front of him, the police officer then remembered. He was still holding this female's wrist. He quickly released his grip. After Yi Shan gained her freedom, she finally hurried to see what that man from earlier actually was. She noticed the man had a pair of ears on his head. He was a beastman. Yi Shan extended her fair, slender index finger and poked Bo Jing's arm. Bo Jing, he's a beastman like you, right? Bo Jing nodded uncomfortably. He never expected the female in front of him to really be Yi Shan. Although he found it very hard to believe. The female's voice and clothes all indicated that she was indeed her. Since she was this beautiful, why did she make herself look like that before? Just to mess with the four of them? That beastman noticed Yi Shan's gaze and thought she was interested in him. He immediately tore off the animal hide he was wearing to show off his assets to the female. Bo Jing, who had originally been stunned by Yi Shan's beauty, instantly sharpened his previously uncertain gaze. He reached out and covered Yi Shan's eyes. The male's palm was broad, and with this cover, even Yi Shan's face was completely hidden. Bo Jing coldly stared at the shameless male before him. How dare you try to seduce his wife right in front of him? The males of the Master God planet usually make their moves behind one's back. This male clearly doesn't take him seriously at all. I suggest you pack up your things. Bo Jing didn't finish the rest of his sentence. Instead, he revealed his sharp claws. The male recognized Bo Jing's threat. But not only did he not back down, he instead furrowed his brows and began to criticize Bo Jing. Which tribe are you from? Don't you know that males aren't allowed to interfere with a female's decision in choosing a mate? Your kind of desire to monopolize the female is something that should be punished. Yi Shan was being smothered by Bo Jing's large hand. It took some effort to finally free her face from Bo Jing's grip. When the male saw Yi Shan, his expression turned gentle again. He narrowed his eyes, carefully sniffing Yi Shan's scent in the air, showing his most tender side. Little female, you're from the cat tribe, right? I'm from the gray wolf tribe, currently living in the Zhongyu tribe. I'd like to follow you back to your tribe. May I? The male looked at Yi Shan with hopeful eyes, his gaze so intense it seemed like he wanted to devour her. It made Yi Shan feel uneasy, and she didn't dare look any longer. Seeing the male act as if he didn't exist, Bo Jing narrowed his eyes, pressing his tongue hard against his molars, looking for death. The next second, he swept past Yi Shan, rushing out, attacking the male. The male moved with agility. His hunting experience from a young age had honed his speed to its peak. Almost no one in the tribe was a match for him. Unfortunately, today he encountered an ORC from another planet. In terms of speed, he was no match for Bo Jing at all. Even without using special abilities, Bo Jing could still make this male beg for mercy on his knees. He gripped the male's neck, tilting his head smugly. With skills like this, you dare to flirt with someone else's wife? Just as he was about to snap the male's neck, an elegant female voice came through. Stop! Everyone looked over. From deep within the forest emerged a black-haired female, seated atop a pure white tiger. The female approached Bo Jing, patting the white tiger's neck. The tiger obediently lowered itself, making it easier for the female to dismount. As soon as the female touched the ground, the white tiger transformed into a 2-meter-tall adult ORC. Standing behind the female glanced at Bo Jing and Yi Shan's attire, probing, "Are you from the Prime Deity Star?" "Yes, we are," Bo Jing replied. He could tell immediately that the female before them was also from the Prime Deity Star. It wasn't surprising, as many people often traveled to other star systems for tourism. "Then let's get acquainted," the female said. "My name is Temi, also from the Prime Deity Star. But 7 years ago I lost my key, and haven't been able to return since." Bo Jing couldn't be bothered to respond. He held the male by the neck, and replied indifferently with a single word. Seeing the male's aloof and dismissive attitude, Tumi gave an awkward smile. The male favored by the chief god is still as unlikable as ever. She patted the beast husband behind her and sighed, thinking how much more obedient males were in the ancient beast world. "Then could you please let go of Zuo Yi first? He is one of my beast husbands." Hearing beast husband, Bo Jing looked at me with suspicion. "Your beast husband? He was clearly trying to seduce my wife just now." He took a moment to glance at Yi Shan, who had remained silent the whole time, only to find that this timid little coward had already hidden almost 10 meters away. Would he let Yi Shan stay out of it? Of course not. He deliberately shouted loudly, "Isn't that right?" While saying this, he even shook Zuo Yi in his hand. The sturdy Zuo Yi, held by Bo Jing, was like a fish waiting to be slaughtered. The difference in strength was too great. Following Bo Jing's gaze, Mi looked over, and indeed spotted Yi Shan trying to shrink away. It's just that this female's spiritual energy is too weak. She had hardly even noticed her. Seeing that she couldn't avoid it any longer, Yi Shan could only awkwardly step out from behind the rock and stand properly. She shouted to the group several meters away, "I guess so." Watching Yi Shan's timid behavior, Mi chuckled lightly. She thought to herself, this female is actually afraid of her own beast husband. This should be easy to handle then. She waved her hand, intending to use her spiritual energy to control Yi Shan. He walked over on his own, but noticed that Yi Shan hadn't moved at all. What's going on? Why isn't the psychic power working? Refusing to believe it, she tried to control Bo Jing. Now, her psychic power had reached level 4. While Bo Jing was only a level 2 wind element user, she easily managed to control Bo Jing and rescued Zoe. It seems the psychic power isn't the problem. Then what's the deal with this female? Mi gave Yi Shan a strange look. Could it be that Yi Shan's psychic power is stronger than hers? What do you mean by this? Bo Jing was controlled by psychic power, his body completely immobilized. "I just wanted you to let Zoe go. Zoe, come here." Zoe covered her neck, gasping for breath uncomfortably, but still stubbornly tried to move closer to Yi Shan. "Lord Tamai, I also have a faction I wish to join. Please stop forcing me." Yi Shan watched as Zoe got closer and closer to him. He wanted to run, but was afraid of losing his way. He could only run towards Bo Jing in panic. The moment he made contact with Bo Jing found that he could move again. "No, big bro. I don't have a faction. Please stop coming closer to me." Hearing Yi Shan's clear rejection, Zoe finally stopped in his tracks. He felt a bit hurt. After all, he was the strongest male in the tribe. "Hey all my kindness towards you was wasted." Mi looked at Zoe's pathetic appearance. She was quite annoyed. She had been so good to him, yet he liked a female like that. Mi stopped caring about Zoe. He's just a male. If I don't want him, then I don't. There's no need for me, because of him, to seriously antagonize the beastmen the main god favors. Sorry about before. It was also because I took this beastman too seriously. That's why I used psychic power on you. I've already withdrawn the psychic power. As compensation, after we return, and give you 10,000 contribution points, worth 10,000. Bo Jing and Yi Shan exchanged a knowing glance. When I saw Yi Shan's pure and bright pupils, I inexplicably felt my mouth go dry again. Why does this Yi Shan have to open his eyes so wide? Is he trying to act cute with me? What do you want? Mi smiled. It's indeed more comfortable talking to a male with normal intelligence. These primitive beastmen like males. Although each is tall and powerful, their intelligence in this aspect is simply frustrating. I said it earlier. If I lost it, that's why I haven't been able to return until now. I hope you can take me with you when you return. No problem, it's an easy task. Plus, the 10,000 contribution points. There's no reason not to help. So what is your mission? I can help you complete it. I know this Beastman Island very well. Yi Shan was somewhat unwilling. She really didn't want to be around so many people. She pinched Bo Jing and spoke in a soft, pleading voice. "Honey, it's better to handle your own matters yourself." Mi was most annoyed by this kind of fake, cutesy female behavior. If you're not willing, then get lost. Yi Shan looked innocently at Tamai. Then you won't use our key? Mi was taken aback. Instinctively, she said, "Yes, I will." "You're using it, yet you're so rude to me." Yi Shan rested her head against Bo Jing's chest. Her tone sounded a bit aggrieved. "Bo Jing. She's really shameless. Let's not lend her the key." Miscalculated, thought she was an easy target. Didn't expect her to be a tough nut to crack. Bo Jing once again witnessed Yi Shan's shocking remarks. He was actually starting to get used to it. It was the same when Zhang Da came to pick a fight before. With such an innocent face, yet her words could choke a person to death. He coughed awkwardly. He didn't even dare to look at Mi's expression. It wasn't that he was particularly afraid of her. After all, on the Master God planet, the one who holds power over a male's life is only their wife. As for females other than their wife, as long as you don't provoke them too much, it's fine. Mi narrowed her eyes and stared at Yi Shan. This was the first time she had ever been called shameless. Furious, she gritted her teeth hard, barely holding back her curses. But the most urgent matter now was to go back first. She had already had enough fun here. "Heh, sis, don't be mad. I just have a bit of a temper and acted impulsively. As long as you can forgive me, if you save me and bring me back, I'll give you double the contribution points. How about it?" Yi Shan didn't even lift her head. She turned her back to Mi and fled, reaching out a finger from behind to point at Mi. "First, give a deposit of 10,000. Since Yi Shan's face was buried in Bo Jing's chest, her voice sounded muffled. The vibration from her speech made Bo Jing's chest feel a little itchy. Hao Wuming raised his hand, his index finger connecting with Yi Shan's, and transferred 10,000 contribution points. Only then did Yi Shan bother to lift her head, glancing at the light blue contribution points on her arm. Her balance was previously 0. But now she had 10,000. She had money now. She could go back and buy a nice house to live in. She quietly asked Bo Jing, "How much does a house cost per square meter?" Bo Jing lowered his head, looked at the female in his arms who was acting like an ostrich, and found her inexplicably cute. "The new houses released by the main god cannot be purchased. You can only rent ordinary housing. 3,000 a month. Or 7,000 for something a bit nicer. There are also ones costing hundreds of thousands or even millions. Like the huge mansion we lived in before, which was 100,000 a month. Females spend money like it's burning." Yi Shan quietly memorized the prices. The nicer ones cost 7,000. So that's nearly 80,000 a year. Plus, there's food, drink, and other expenses. The spending is really high. "Would you like to come to my tribe and rest for the night?" Mi put on the demeanor of hosting guests, but she was actually afraid that Bo Jing and Yi Shan would sneak away. If she invited them into the tribe, she could keep an eye on them. Yi Shan shook her head. She didn't want to go. There would definitely be many strangers in the tribe. It would be better to just find a random place to sleep. Mi closed her eyes, suppressing the urge to curse. She said patiently, "If you stay outside at night, you might encounter wild beasts or rogue beasts. It's very dangerous." This time, before Yi Shan could speak, Bo Jing refused first. "Thank you for your concern. No one here can harm us. In that case, I won't say more. Let's exchange contact information. Call me when your mission is complete. We'll meet at the space gate." Bo Jing glanced at the white tiger behind. "My. How will you get up? Rely on him?" "Of course not. My beast husband from the main god star is also here. You don't need to worry about that." After both sides exchanged contact information, Zhu Ming teasingly flipped through Yi Shan's profile card. "Yi Shan, ragdoll cat." She put away her phone and looked Yi Shan over. She really does look like a ragdoll cat. Innocent, adorably naive. But what's with this messy hair? And these clothes are about as unfashionable as it gets. Even her own animal skin skirt is better than that. It seems the little kitten's fur is a bit matted. I really don't know how your beast husbands have been taking care of you. Speaking of which, don't you have 3 beast husbands? Why is only this falcon following you? Yi Shan was also looking at Tumi's profile card. Tumi is a black fox. She has 3 beast husbands. They had some matters to attend to, and stayed behind on the main god star. So that's how it is. They are really something, to be so at ease. Aren't they afraid you might die here? Bo Jing watched as the 2 females started chatting like this. He was getting a bit impatient from waiting. Stop chatting, completing the mission is more important. Alright, let's go. Tumi got on the white fox and left. Zoe looked at Yi Shan, reluctant to part, but there was no other way. She just didn't fancy him. Take this, you can use it to wash your hair. After saying that, he turned and ran after Tumi. Yi Shan opened her hand. It was clearly those 2 fake items. Bo Jing saw Yi Shan staring intently at the fakes. He thought she had really taken a liking to that low-level beastman. For some reason, he felt a bit unhappy. Still looking? Aren't we going to do the